This is actually two parts. One part is you're gonna take a tour of this place. Now, this place is two parts. One part is the support center for all the district. Our district is a charter school district called SIASG Academies, as you know, and Star International Academy happens to be the biggest school in this district. But there is 6 campuses, 5 schools that this district supports. So this is the support center to support all this district. There are offices here that support the district, like HR, human resources, where hiring teachers happen and supporting them, accounting, where they pay the bills. So you're gonna do a tour to get to know this. This is one of the privileges of student government, that you get this, what do you call it, like behind the scene tour of what happens at the district level. Typically, a superintendent's office is usually in a support center like this, but Dr. Bazzi likes to be among the students. That's why he always is working in schools. I'm not sure if this year he's in Star. Is he a Star this year, Dr. Bazzi?
Yeah, he's got an office in there. We don't see him very often.
Yeah, because he switches schools. Last year he was mostly in Star. I think this year he's mostly in Universal Academy, but he tries to be around the schools. Okay, so that's half of it. The other half is called the CTE, the Center for Technical Education, which is basically an educational center that allows you to take classes for hands-on careers at the same time you're taking high school. And this is very special because most schools don't have that, but you have it here. So it's few programs like robotics. You see around you, these are 3D printers. Robotics program, they learn coding here, and CAD, which is like graphic design, and different things. And then there is broadcasting journalism, and there is the CNA, the certified nurse program. Anyone here already takes classes at the CTE? I know it's for high school. Okay. And Mr. President, do you have classes here? Not anymore. You had last year? Okay. Yes, and also what else? There's also culinary arts. Do you know what a culinary art is? Cooking, yeah. So we're gonna do a tour for that. 2000? No, way before that. I think 17 maybe, or 18, where the superintendent invited. What was at that time, the ULA student government was the first year for ULA student government. There were like 5 members, and they were invited for lunch by the superintendent. And it was great because it was an opportunity for to celebrate their leadership and to have one-on-one with the superintendent. And then they said, okay, let's do it for all student governments every year. And this became a tradition. So this is an invitation by the superintendent to Star International Academy student government and thanking them for their leadership. So it is an invitation for lunch by the superintendent, Dr. Ali Bazzi, who was supposed to be here. Hopefully he'll get here on time, because today is there's a lot of Arabic Day celebrations, so they're all over the place. But he should make it here by the time for lunch, which is in about an hour from now. We will enjoy some lunch together. So any questions about that? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about student government before we start the tour, where we actually will split you into 2 groups, which is great because you're gonna have a small group in your tour, and the tour will be done by other staff member, which you will see in a second. Before that, I want to show you some videos that we are working on. So as you see, students are coming and leaving. These are the CTE students, and the bus take them to school, bring them back. So when you do the tour as a middle schooler, you'll know what you can do in your high school, which you can take some of these classes when you get to high school. When you're a freshman, you can start taking these. By the way, my name is Mr. Sharafuddin. I am the Family Engagement Community Liaison for the district, and I help the mentors of student government. Your mentors, I help them with student government stuff. I started with student government back on the days like 2008, because student government's power comes from the students, which means that it's a group of students that want to have a representation for their voice. So they come together and they create an organization and they use voting to have representation of the students. Now, the student government is adopted by the school. The school, Star International Academy, welcomes you and works with you and assigns you mentors and gives you a classroom to utilize. And it works with you. So you are in alliance, you work with the administration. But you don't get your power from administration. You get your power from your own self, which means that if Star International tomorrow says, there is no student government, there's no more student government, we're not having any student clubs, we're canceling all student clubs, including student government. Does it mean that you don't have a student government? It doesn't mean that. You can still have a student government and meet outside the school. It's not something that it gets its power from the school. It's something that gets its power from you guys. And this is important because you're learning that in a democracy. This is the whole point of student government, is for you to learn where power comes from. What's the first word of the Constitution? We. It comes from we. And that was a very important point in history when that was written. In what year, do you know?
1776.
Yeah, I don't want to make this feel like a class, but but correct. So, well, that was the Declaration of Independence, but it's symbolically it is, yes. So it shifted the power from the king to the people, and that is the whole point of governance and citizenship in the United States, that teaches you that the power at the end ultimately comes to people. Now, is that challenged sometimes? Yeah, all the time. So it's important for you to understand your constitution and to understand how to implement it. Student government is a grounds for that learning, to learn where the power comes from. It comes from you, from your representation. So, but how do you organize? Like, let's look at this. It's a large body. How do you organize it? How does Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Dina run your meeting? Exactly. And there is a procedure to run the meeting, so everyone is given an opportunity to speak. Now, you might not know the name of these rules, but they're called Robert's Rules of Order. And these are the rules that they use to organize your meetings. It's a guy called Robert who created these rules about 150 years ago, and they were perfect rules to make a democracy, to make a meeting. So what's the point of it? The point of it is that you're in a meeting, you're comfortable, you're heard, and you participate in making the decision. So it's not only if you're loud or if if your opinion is popular, you get to make it, and if not, then you get overpowered and you don't get to make it. So these rules make sure that everyone gets the chance. For example, if there is a motion, we state the motion very clearly so everyone knows what they're voting on. And then there's a debate. It's open. The floor opens for debate or discussion, and everyone gets a chance to speak equally. And nobody gets a chance to speak a second time unless everyone was given a chance to speak the first time. So everyone is given equal chance to voice, and when everyone speaks their mind and everyone addresses the chairman, nobody addresses each other, because it's not a debate even though it's a debate, but you're talking to the chairman, everyone is listening, so it's nothing personal. Everyone represents their class. Like, what's your position? Of 10th grade. So in the meeting, you are called as 10A representative, or 10th grade representative. So and the chairman is called the chairman. The chairman, by your constitution, is assigned as the president. He presides over the meeting. He just chairs the meeting. He doesn't have a vote. By the way, president and vice president don't have a vote in the legislative assembly, but they preside over the meeting and they organize the meeting and he can assign it to someone else. If you go to University of Michigan and you join student government, they actually have a position for the person who chairs the meeting called Speaker of the House. And that person, that's the only thing they do. And they have then also an assistant. But in your case, the president presides, or if he assigns someone else to preside over the meeting. So, did you get a copy? Who's your parliamentarian? So this is recommended for each person to read, and it's required for one person to read, which is the parliamentarian. Because if you have what's called parliamentary inquiry, then it goes to the parliamentarian to answer. What is the gavel? You always see the gavel as a sign. The gavel came from the Robert Rules of Order. So the gavel is a kind of a symbol of something important. It's only used in two ways. It's either one, or it's either several. Now, when is the one used and when is the several used? The several is used if there is something that is disrupting the meeting. Then it is like a warning from the chair. When he knocks it several times, is issuing a warning, which means that if he has to warn the same person again, it's clear that he warned him the first time, then he has the right to ask him to be escorted out, for him to leave the meeting, because he's disrupting the democratic process. And the second way it's used is one hit, and that is when you start the meeting, it indicates that the meeting now has started. And every time there is a motion that either passes or is rejected. Because once the vote is taken and the motion passes, and this is hit, it's done. The motion is done. We cannot talk about it anymore. If you need to bring back a motion that has been voted on back to discussion, it needs 2/3 vote. You have to put a motion to bring it back for discussion. It needs 2/3 vote, and it's a whole new motion. So it's just an indication that we're done from that, and it goes to the next one. Just for you to understand the symbolism behind it. It's a very clear symbol, because if he hits it, the motion is done. Or the meeting is adjourned at the end, which is also a motion. Meeting adjourned means the meeting is over. Nothing happens after the meeting. Anything said after that gavel is unofficial. Okay. Taban, it's different. It's used a little bit different by judges, but it's the same concept. And by the way, Robert Rules of Order is used everywhere. That's a nice thing. You're getting practice right now. If you go to college, you join student government, they use the same thing. That's more experience in governance than most of the people who are running for city council when you run for elections. So once you're 18, you're open to run and represent yourself. Okay. If you are in a board of a job, the same thing, they use the same rules. And if you go to Congress, they use the same rules. They have their addition of it, like they edit it a little bit, but it's the same concept. I'm going to show you last video. We'll start the tour. These are made with the assistance of AI, Notebook, LM. It's a Google software. Great for flashcards, for presentations, for creating videos like this. Something that used to take a month to create, now it takes 5 minutes. All right. So before we start the tour, there are 4 types of motions. There are 4 types of motion. There is the main motion, which is I move to. Is there a second? Second means there is another person who thinks that we should discuss this. Doesn't mean necessarily that they agree with it, but they actually just want it to be discussed. Because if no one wants it to be discussed, why waste time? So no discussion. If there's no one wants to discuss it, it just dies there. But if there is a second, it moves forward and the floor is open for discussion. Now, within that motion, it was not specific, so someone can move. So then that amendment is called the secondary motion, subsidiary motions, and then it gets voted on, and then it changes the motion, and then we go back and we discuss the main motion. There is ones called privilege motions. Privilege motions are like urgent matters. Bless you. All right, let's move on so we're not crunched with time. I'll leave it to the president to divide the students in 2 groups. Go ahead and let me get your tour guide.